Hello and welcome to this video guide to providing effective 16PF feedback. This video will help you prepare for the 16PF training course, act as a reminder during the course, and will also be a useful tool whenever you need a refresher. The video shows Ken Rowley giving feedback to John Maynard. John has completed the 16PF questionnaire as part of the selection process for a sales management role. It might be useful for you to have the 16PF feedback checklist handy so you can follow Ken. In this first part of the introduction section, we will see Ken establishing rapport with John and covering the practicalities for the session. These will include agreeing the purpose of the session, discussing confidentiality and how the results will be stored, explaining how the 16PF questionnaire fits into the process, and discussing the structure and process for the session.
Hi John, welcome to the 16PF feedback session. So I'm Ken, I'll be giving you feedback on the 16PF profile. So how are you finding the day so far?
It's been really great. Interesting role plays, but yeah, no, I've been really enjoying the day.
Okay, that's great. I'm glad you've been enjoying it so far. Hopefully I can keep that going here. And actually what I generally find is people find this really insightful. Okay? My role here is to give you the feedback, to explore the results with you, and to get a really good idea if you agree with the results. I will go into more depth about that in a moment. Just to give you a quick overview of the session, I'm going to spend about 10 minutes going through the introduction, and then we'll go through the results, which might take about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
The introduction, that really will help us have a shared understanding about the questionnaire and the process that we go through here. So how does that sound so far? Do you have any questions?
No, that sounds great, Ken. Really looking forward to it.
Okay, great. And I promise that we get to the results shortly. So how did you find completing the questionnaire?
It was great. I mean, no problems at all. Just felt that maybe some of the questions are a bit about my home life rather than business, but I suppose that's part of the questionnaire.
Yeah. So I'm glad in general it was okay for you. The reason we ask quite a broad range of questions is to make sure that we've got a more overview of you as a person. And what that gives us is the chance to see what additional things you might bring to the role that maybe you're not currently expressing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So as I mentioned, we're going to a bit more depth about the purpose of the feedback session. So what I'd like to do as part of this is to get confidence that you actually agree with the results. Okay. We will also have the chance to look through the results and get an idea of what you think about them. I would also like to get examples of when you think you've shown various behaviours, so whether or not really they fit the profile. So this session really is a two-way process. Yeah, so do feel free to ask any questions when you want.
Don't worry, Ken, I will do.
Okay, that's great. And obviously the other thing I just want to emphasise is that we will be linking it to the sales management role.
Okay, great.
Now, I just want to explain a little bit about how the results will be used. Later, I'll be meeting with the other people involved in the decision-making process, so all those who are part of the assessment process. I think you've met some of them already. And what I'll be doing is feeding back about how you felt about the results and what the results tell us. So this will help them make a decision alongside all the other information that they've gathered so far today, and help them make a decision about who's most suitable for the role. One of the key things I want to emphasise is that I won't be sharing that information with other people, so anybody who's outside of the process. Okay.
Okay, is it okay if I make notes?
Yeah, feel free to do so. And just to reassure you, any notes that I take, they will be just shared with those who are involved in the assessment process and making the decisions. Again, I won't be sharing those with anybody outside of the process. Also, just to reassure you, electronic reports that we've generated, they will be in a folder on our system that's password protected. Okay? So only those who have a right to access those will do. Okay, how does that sound?
That sounds great, Ken.
So just to be clear about the process and the structure, we're actually going to be going through this, and this will be the main feedback. Once we go through this is when we'll be discussing the results. It will be a two-way process. What I would like to do is not just tell you where your results are, but for you to tell me what you think about that, and to ask questions, and to explore further with me. So I will be asking you to provide some examples. How does that sound?
That sounds great. I'll definitely be asking questions.
Okay, that's great.